Yeah, so the most glaring thing here is that France is is the major country within the Western world that is pushing Tinubu to go and fight. First of all, Tinubu has all his life in France. His investment, his medical record, his international vacations, and everything is in France. And so he has a very stronger tie with France than UK and the US. And so I would not be surprised if France is pushing him to go to that war, capitalizing on him as the head of the ECOWAS heads of state. So, um, so it's because if you look at it very well, Nigeria really does not have significant interest in Niger. Rather, it is even Niger that has interest in Nigeria because um, now that we have a hike in petrol price and the demand for petrol has gone down in Nigeria, Niger is already crying that their product is not selling anymore. So what do I mean? Nigeria doesn't have interest in that place. Rather, France has more interest because of the presence of uranium and gold and some other natural resources, coupled with the fact that France has held Niger down for since independence in 1960 by taking charge of their resources and their revenues. Okay, so the thing is that France is finding it very difficult to go and invade Niger Republic directly by using their own forces. So they want to fight the war by proxy, and that is by using Nigeria to initiate it under the umbrella of ECOWAS. That is what I see.
So if you talk about France and Tinubu having a strong ties in France, so what about the British man who just spoke about the activities or atrocities of Tinubu in the US? So what are you going to say about that as well?
Well, that one is a bit of different, how do I put it, different view on the integrity of Tinubu globally. Again, the issue that Tinubu has in the US, uh, some quarters are saying that the US might use it against Tinubu like a blackmail, that if he really wants to be protected by US government, then he should follow the Western world desire to go and invade Niger using the military and using his position as a head of states of the ECOWAS. So it is looking at the influence the US is exerting on Tinubu and the one France is exerting on Tinubu, it is clear that France is exerting more force and more influence on Tinubu to head to Niger for war rather than US. But I know that US at the back of their mind obviously will be keeping all the records Tinubu has in the US till the day they will use it effectively on him or on Nigeria as a whole. But obviously the Western world cannot act where they don't have interest. They definitely have interest in Niger because the US has military base in Niger, just like France also has base in Niger. But in this case, it is obvious that France is having more influence than the US. But again, US has all the records of Tinubu, and for some reasons they don't want to release it. And obviously, it is nothing but to their own interest. They are waiting for a day they will use it, and they will definitely use it against Tinubu, except Tinubu cooperates with them in the area they need him to cooperate. So that is the way I see the issue of Tinubu's record in the US as exposed by this British man saying that he was a bag man for the mafias in Illinois in what they
US.
call it, in the US.
And again, recently, this guy, one of the APC chieftains, Adamu Gaba, said, "Oh, it is not possible for that. That is not how to declare war because, as far as we are concerned, the Senate has not agreed that Tinubu should go to war because even Falana said that before Tinubu or ECOWAS can go, because all of them are saying that because Tinubu is the leader of the ECOWAS, that other countries in ECOWAS they are taking decisions and all of that, but because Tinubu is the head, Nigerians are just like, oh, it's like Tinubu that is taking that position and all of that. And this man said without the Senate it's not possible for Tinubu to just do that or to just say he want to invade or to fight the Niger people. Also, Adamu Gaba said the same thing. But now, if we are to relate both, okay, his ties with France, the US, and all of that, then what is now the position of the Senate. Now they say they are not going to agree for him to do that or to
Yeah,
invade.
so again, I know that Tinubu is the head of states of ECOWAS states, but the fact remains that Nigeria is also a sovereign nation, and the legislators have that legislative power to approve for Nigeria to deploy his soldiers to fight in Niger, except if there is another ECOWAS law or policy that we don't know of that overrides the power of the legislators in the member states, then that will be a different thing that we need to look at. But as it is now, looking at Nigeria as a sovereign nation with its own legislators, the legislators still have the power to prevail on Tinubu not to deploy Nigerian soldiers. Yes, Tinubu will not be able to override that disapproval from the Senate to take a unilateral decision, even though he's the commander-in-chief the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he still cannot override the position of the Senate. That is it. Except he's going to bribe his way through, because again the Senate is also another set of people that you can influence. He has a way of influencing them.
They can't be trusted.
So they can't be trusted. So that is it. They can wake up one day and say they have all agreed after they have met secretly at night or somewhere else and they have pleased themselves. You can imagine the senators with the state of Nigeria that are sharing money among themselves just to go for recess. That is unacceptable. So all of the political system in Nigeria, the democratic setting, and the people involved are all unacceptable. And this is exactly the reason Niger is in this situation, because they have seen that democratic system is not helping. So they want to reform the government. Whatever they're doing now is a way of reforming the government in the Niger Republic. But unfortunately, the ECOWAS leaders, who are also all corrupt in their own ways, are seeing it like trying to reinstate democracy in the Niger Republic. And the Western world too, being that they all have interest in the soil of Africa, looking for what they will get, is also trying to protect their interest in the Niger Republic. That is it.
Well, let us keep our finger crossed and see what happens at the end of the day. Thank you very much.